Have you ever tried to get a random number in any programming language? Do you know how to get a random number in JavaScript? Today, we are going to see how to do it in JavaScript, which are the different ways to do it, and at the end, I'm going to give you the function that is going to work in all cases. Okay, so let's go for it. Hey guys, welcome to Coding with DC. In this video, we are going to see how to get a random number in JavaScript. So the first thing that you might think about getting a random number in JavaScript is that JavaScript itself, as a programming language, should have a function that gives us a random number between a minimum and the maximum, right? Well, that's simply not the case. We should do it ourselves. But don't worry, it is super easy to do it, and we are going to do it together in this video. So here we have an HTML file. It is super empty, it is just boilerplate code, and we have imported an JavaScript file called index. It can have any name, but in this case it's index, and we have it here. Okay, this is an empty JS file. So let's see the easy example. I want a random number between 0 and 1. Okay? In JavaScript, we have an object called math. Math has properties and methods for constants and mathematical functions. In other words, it is an object, a JavaScript object, that works for basically performing mathematical operations that are not so easy to perform by hand, right? So in this case, if we want a random number, we can just say this. We can just say const random is equals to math.random, right? So then if we log it, if we just put like random and log the random number, is going to work fine. If we save it, that's it. Here it is. It's a random number. If we save it again and again and again, well, it is working, but as you can see, it is always between 0 and 1. So the math.random function in JavaScript gives us a random number, but only between 0 and 1. That's it. Now, let's say that we want a number, but not between 0 and 1, but we want between 0 and 100, right? So if we want, let's say, a random between 0 to 100, or to any number, we can just put math.random again, right? And then what we want to do is to multiply it by the number that we want as maximum. So in this case, if we want it to from between 0 and 100, we have to multiply it by 100. If we want it to between 0 and 10, we just multiply it by 10. So this is just traditional math, because it's going to move the decimal part. It's going to move the comma to the left, right? So in this case, if we log it, we say, okay, 0 to 100, and put random 0 to 100. We log it, and here it is, 35, 46, 94, 14, okay? This works perfectly fine. Cool. So, what else? Let's see what happens if we want an integer, right? Because maybe we want a random number, but not with decimals, right? We want an integer. Okay, for that we have another method which is called math.floor. Okay, floor is going to round a number with a decimal number down. Okay, so if we have this number, it is going to go down. It's going to go to 88. If it is this number, it's going to go down. It's going to go to 0. Okay, if we save it here is going to, in this case, 17 is going to be 17, right? Even if it is more close to 18, it is going to give us 17 because it's mat.floor. Okay, so we are going to use this method, combine it with what we already have. Okay, so in this case, it is pretty easy. We're going to say, for example, const random 0 to 100, and here we're going to put 2 equals to mat. Instead of 2, maybe we have to put integer, right? And we're going to put mat.random times 100, as we know, console.log 0 to 100 int, okay? And if we just log it, random 0 to 100 int, and save it, here we have it, but it is not the rounding number yet, because what we need is just putting here random 0 to 100 int is equals to mat dot, as you know, floor random 0 to 100 int. Awesome. Here we're going to have a problem because we declare it as a constant, and you know that a constant can't change, so we have to move it to a let or a bar. It's going to work in both ways. Okay. So if we save it, here we have 74, save it, 69. Okay, it works perfectly fine. Cool. However, this only works if we want a random number between 0 and any other number. Okay, so if we move it to 10 here, we're going to get a random number between 0 to 10 and so on, but always between 0 and another number. But what happens if we want a number between two, not only a maximum, but also we can want to change the minimum. It's not, we want, for example, one random number between, I don't know, 20 and 40, not between 0 and 40, right? So in that case, we can use what I call the definitive random function that always works to get a random integer number in JavaScript. So this is the function. I'm going to copy paste it here. Here we are. This is the function. Get random, you can put the name that you want. It's going to receive a minimum and it's going to receive a maximum. And if we want, we just declare a number called random. This random is going to get a random between 0 and 1, as you know, and it's going to be multiplied by the difference between the maximum and the minimum. Okay, this always going to be positive because maximum can be greater or equal than minimum. Then this random is going to be an integer because we want an integer. So it's going to put mat.floor plus minimum to, and this plus minimum is basically because it starts by default in 0. Okay, so then we're going to return this random, and we can use it like everywhere, right? So let's log console.log random function, and then we're going to use get random between, and we can put any number we want. For example, I don't know, 20 and 40. Okay, save it for 23, and we have numbers between 20 and 40. But maybe we want between, I don't know, 3,000 and 4,000. Okay, if we save it, it's working completely fine. Okay, guys, yes, that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Minimum and maximum in this function are included and can be the output. It can be the random number itself. If we don't want them, we can just add 1 to the minimum or subtract 1 to the maximum with no problems. So yes, that's it, guys, for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. That's how you get a random number in JavaScript. Please, if you have any doubt, any comment, Any suggestion, please leave it in the comment below. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.